Cheers!
Cheers!
How you guys doing tonight? Okay, we're having some fun in my backyard. Thank you so much for coming. Please give it up for Pedro Blanco. Woo!
Hola!
And give it up for my, one of my best friends since college. We were best friends in college. We've been best friends ever since. He produced my first 4 records. He produced a lot of your confidential record. Some of it.
Yeah.
All of it?
Some of it.
Some of it?
The best bits.
The best bits of his confidential record. Give it up for Matthew Hager.
Thank you.
I'm Mindi Abair, and we're having fun. We're going through a heat wave. It's a bit of a heat wave.
Another one.
Yeah, Peter's not wearing shoes
There's a lot.
because it's too warm.
It's 100.
Yeah, it's whoo.
Yeah.
So we're sweltering. I am drinking our brand new wine that came out last week. This is called Soundwave Chardonnay. It's keeping me cool, and I love it. So Peter, you've got Boddington's, correct?
Yeah, see.
See, he's
Some
drinking
good old-
Boddington's with like 9 lemons in it.
Yeah, this is good old English beer, but you know what? All beer tastes better with lemons in it, if you live in my world.
We all just live in your world. It's fine.
Some people do. Some people want to live in my world. Some people want to be...
Some people choose that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people want to be me. I said, you really want it? You really know what that means?
They do. Yes. I think it's a nice place. And Matthew is drinking Japanese green tea, Itoen, and it's pretty stunning, wouldn't you say?
Helps me think.
Flavor profile.
It's got a nice tobacco.
He's
Depth
so just tap dancing right now. I just wanted to put him on the spot because that's how we make him feel. Welcome on the porch. So, okay. I want to know what you're drinking. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know if it's 100 degrees at your house today. And we're just going to have fun playing for you. We got a very special shout out. I mean, we lived up in wine country. We lived in Sonoma and Napa for a while. And a shout out to people in Santa Rosa right now, St. Helena, Calistoga. We are just watching you, and our hearts are going out to you. This is just, it's horrifying. So, know we're thinking about you. We're playing for you. This first song is very special. I wrote it with this guy. I wrote Lucy's with Matthew Hager. I wrote it across the street from my house, right here, right across the street with that guitar. Why aren't you playing that guitar?
It's in a different key.
Oh, all right. I gotta ask these questions. This song was written on the porch of the house across the street.
It's true.
We were a little drunk
That's very true.
from the night before when we went to Lucy's. And Lucy's was our hang. But she loved it when we wrote a song about her. So, if you're ever in Hollywood, go to Lucy's Adobe. It's right across from Paramount Pictures. Get a margarita or 3. Tell them I sent you. This is for Lucy. it down. Come on. Da 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 da. Are you singing in your living room? Da 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 da. Put your wine down for a minute. Sing with me. Da 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 da. Woo! Da 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 da. Sing it with me, come on! Yeah, that feels good. Okay, so we have my neighbors again, Colleen, and we have George in the audience. And of course, my husband Eric is running all the controls. So, you know, thank you guys for coming in. Hey, hon, what you doing?
So we got pretty great around the world. Japan, Moscow.
Whoa, Japan, Moscow. You're coming in from, wow,
South Africa.
South Africa. Wow.
The great country of London.
The great country of London, he says. Wow.
The great country
London,
of Las Vegas.
London in the house.
Vegas, baby. By the way, what happens on the porch stays on the porch. All right, no, you guys are watching everything. So.
Boddingtons.
Yeah, I need a drink after Lucy's. I mean, I may want a margarita later because it is Pedro Blanco. We did play Lucy's.
Pedro Blanco.
Can I just tell a short story about Lucy's?
Sure.
Okay, so a lot of people have asked me about the vocal part that comes in the middle, the da 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 da. So the way that came about, we weren't trying to make a vocal song or anything. It actually was the way that we wrote the song. We were on his porch and we were playing, and I was just kind of singing along. I wasn't playing sax. I was just kind of singing along, and I thought, oh, this is cool. He was like, wow, I like that line, you know? Da 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 da. Right?
So you're just improvising something, just like a space filler. Like, this is where...
Yeah, I was just trying to get a vibe for what I felt with. I loved the lick, you know. I loved the vibe of it. So we decided we liked that. So we recorded it on Matthew's iPhone, and we kept it. And so when we recorded the song, we were like, you know, going back and listening to that, and we were just like, oh wow, that was just kind of a template for the saxophone. But then we thought, oh, we should put that in the choruses. It's cool. We like it. But then we had to mess with it because, you know, you were producing. You had to be all cooler than everyone else. And we had to make it kind of sound bad, like it sounds on your phone. We had to give it that kind of radio, you know, like if it was coming out of a bad iPhone speaker. So it's not this perfect sounding vocal. It's this kind of messed up AM radio kind of vocal.
And here's how old we are. It wasn't an iPhone at all. We
They didn't
actually
have iPhone.
recorded it on the landline voicemail.
Oh my God, are you
And
kidding
then
me?
played it back through the speakerphone on the landline and recorded that
Oh my God.
to a $5,000 mic chain.
Okay, now see,
That's the story.
that's the story. Oh my God, you're so old.
Yeah. It's really a shame you've aged so much. Yeah. Peter, you look great. I don't
Peter's-
know what you're doing.
I'm holding up.
Yeah.
He's drinking Boddingtons.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the beer, yes. I recommend it
The
heartily.
hops.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, Eric just put up a picture of Lucy's, and, what a great place. When our song started going up the charts, Lucy's, she really didn't think that much of it, right? Do you remember?
Well, because, Lucy's Adobe was a place that Jackson Browne hung out in, the Eagles hung out, Linda Ronstadt hung out. There's been a community every decade that has hung out at Lucy's, and so it's not an elite place, but it has such an elite narrative as far as the music community goes.
Yeah.
That saying, "Hi, Lucy, we wrote a song about you," isn't that remarkable.
She didn't care.
But when it went number one, she sent Tom Selleck over to our table to congratulate us.
That was awesome, by the
That's
way.
very true.
Tom Selleck, baby.
Yeah. Tom Selleck came and congratulated us for having the number one song.
And by the way, I mean, we had to kind of fight to get a table early days, but once you had a number one song
Not
named
anymore.
Lucy's,
Yeah, I know.
we had a table reserved for us, the same table, my favorite table on the porch. Imagine that, on the porch, on the patio, that was reserved for us for maybe 10 years. I don't know. How long was that table there?
Any time. It was always there for us.
Oh, yeah. No one else got that table. So, all that to say, you should write a song that goes to number one for any restaurant that you want to hang out in that you think is cool. Just write that song.
Just do that, and you'll have a table. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are drinking. You guys are having fun. I love this. We don't get to see you, and we miss you so much. But these nights are so special for us. So, Pedro Blanco and I were talking about music and about what to play. And, well, this is my request.
Well, one of my favorite songs that you recorded, and I just realized that you wrote this with Matthew as well.
Yeah.
There's another song you wrote with Matthew. Wow. Can we do it?
We could do it.
Well,
We wrote it
we
on
can do
that
it.
porch.
You wrote it on that porch. Wow.
Not this porch.
It's called Every Time.
I should call today. There's so much I want to say, 'cause I feel in time this time might slip away. Won't you be the one? Last call when the day is done. I believe this time, there's more to come. Every time I think of you, everywhere you want me to, every moment you pull me through, it makes me want you, makes me want you. Every time I see your face, every smile, every warm embrace, every time I just lose my place, it makes me want you, makes me want you. If I called your name, would you feel the same? Oh, I've never felt this hard, my heart, so hard to tame. Every time I think of you, everywhere you want me to, every moment you pull me through, it makes me want you, makes me want you. Every time I see your face, every mile, every warm embrace, every time I just lose my place, it makes me want you, makes me want you. Every time I think of you, everywhere you want me to, every moment you pull me through, it makes me want you, makes me want you. Every time I see your face, every smile, every warm embrace, every time I just lose my place, it makes me want you, makes me want you.
Lovely.
I got my two favorite guys by my side. This is crazy. I'm looking over at you. We wrote it a million years ago.
Long time ago.
We wrote this in 2004. This came out on my Come As You Are record, and we had so much fun doing this song. I remember that we did a video, Panasonic. You know, you guys have Panasonic stuff, right? Panasonic asked us to do a video for them. Remember that?
I do.
And they were going to put it on, there was a name for it, but it was their big screen in Times Square. That's pretty cool, right? So we did this video for them, but they were going to put it all over the world. And so they said, well, it's going to go in Arab countries, so we need you to pick your outfit that isn't American. And I was like, what does that mean? So they basically said if we wanted the video to go worldwide, that I needed to wear a shirt up to here and that I needed to wear sleeves down to here. So if you look back on that video, it's somewhere on the web, but it's Panasonic every time. Matthew's in the video. You're playing guitar. And, and I'm wearing an orange shirt, which if anyone knows me at all, I've never worn an orange shirt in my life. It went right in the trash after after that. And that was my orange long sleeve shirt that lasted a day.
Lasted a day.
It lasted a day.
I was dressed equally ridiculous.
I think you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted us to do colors that popped because it was a
right.
new technology. It was like pre-HD.
Right. See, you remember all the different stuff. I just remember that I had to wear a bad orange shirt, but you remember why.
Well, because I was involved behind the scenes a lot too.
Right.
I didn't just.
I was
up.
just the talent.
Yeah. Some of us had to show up early.
yeah. All right, how you guys doing out there? You having fun?
I gotta say, it's great to play these songs again. It's been so long.
Well, it's been a long time since you've done a live performance.
I haven't played music in 2 years. This is the first time.
Wow.
I've been retired.
You're allowed to retire like a little bit,
Well,
but
you're back now.
you're back, baby.
Big Bay, in a big way.
Listen, to share a porch with you guys, that's crazy.
The Porch
an
brings
honor,
big
really.
fame and fortune.
Let's play some blues. You can play some blues, right,
I
Matthew?
don't know about the fortune, but the fame. Actually, we do have a
I am
PayPal.
from Texas.
PayPal.com/Mindi Abair that goes to all of us. So, maybe the Porch does bring fame and fortune. We'll see. This is a song we wrote called The Joint. Woo! You gotta get down and dirty. You gotta dance in your living room. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, down and dirty. This is your dance break and make it count. Pedro Blanco.
Uh,
Oh, Pedro Blanco. I love it. Can I hear you? This was a request from you guys. Here we go. Pedro Blanco
Oh, yeah.
on the porch.
amazing.
You know, there's a story. There's always a story. Bueno Funk. Why did we call that song Bueno Funk? Well, that was from an album I did called Glow, and the whole album was supposed to have like a Spanish or Latin kind of feel to it.
Really?
That was. And that all kind of went by the wayside, and what was left
I didn't
was
know.
a song called Bueno Funk. That was, we thought, well, we'll give it a Latin-sounding name, and it had timbales on it, which is a very Latin percussion instrument, timbales. And
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
I think there's another song on the album called Pedro Blanco.
There is another song on the record called Pedro Blanco.
and that was part of the whole Spanish Latin kind of theme. But
Where did Pedro Blanco come from? I mean, I know
It's
it's
my
your
name.
name, but I mean, did someone start calling you that? Was it just
a lot of
you
people
had fun
call
and
me-
wrote a song?
A lot of people. My manager calls me Pedro.
Really?
A lot of people have called me Pedro. Yeah, I think it's nice that people give you a special name. I think it's a measure by which how much you're loved is how many names you have. That different people come up with names. I mean, nice names, not
It's very true.
Yeah.
Not the
Yes,
ones
people
that they
take-
call
no.
her.
People take the trouble to come up with their own
Hey!
name.
Right.
How many names do you have?
I don't have any names, I don't think.
just
but
have one.
I know
that's
I call him Spike. Yeah. Oh, you've got a different look on your face. Maybe I do have names. I don't know. Chrissy calls me Blondie across the
Yeah.
street. I call her Brunette. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's not, I don't know. I don't know. You guys let us know if I have names that I don't know about. We'll see. We'll see. I know this next person that I'm bringing on because it's Wine Intermission. He has a name. And I call him a bunch of different things. There's Honey.
I know his name.
You know
He's
his name?
Wine Guy.
Oh, he's a wine guy.
That's how I know him. He's the
Hey,
wine
wine guy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's the cork dork. You're right. I like
The
that name
cork
too.
dork.
He's the cork dork. He's the wine guy. We have to have a wine intermission. We shipped to our members
Well,
this week.
I
and
see him coming. He has a sword in his hand.
Yeah.
So something's about to happen here. I hope
Look,
there's no damage to any of us.
we did a shipment this week. He's all hopped up. He's all happy. So to our members, we're so happy you got your wine. I know you're drinking this. We want you to drink it tonight, but he has been feeling a little frisky because he shipped our wine. What do you got there, honey?
I got, in honor of Matthew being here and Pedro Blanco.
Pedro Blanco.
I don't think they can hear me.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Give him the
I
mic.
got to give you a microphone. But just put the knife away for a second. See, the danger is what's great, right?
I was specifically told not to bring my sword.
Yes.
is weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no sword zone unless I brandish it. So this is, there's some fans of this out there. Domain Corneros by Tet and Jay from southern Sonoma. This is in honor of all the people that are dealing with Napa and Sonoma fires the last day or so. I had a friend of mine who owns a winery in Sonoma, and he was out at 3 a.m. in the morning, and he was putting out flames outside the back of his winery that was built about a couple years ago. So it just keeps happening to us. Global warming is very well felt in Northern California. And this is in celebration to all the resilient people in wine. It's not easy to make it. It's really, really hard to get a bottle of wine to your table. But all those people in Sonoma and Napa right now are going to work after the fires are gone to get great wine to you, and it's gonna happen. So in honor of everyone in Sonoma and Napa, this is for you.
You ready? You guys want to count it down with us? Okay. That's no one has this knife. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Woo! He's done that like he did it before. Woo!
Wow.
See, that is the wine guy. That is our cork dork. That's my husband, Eric Guerra. By the way, the cork didn't come off. That's the bottle. You want to hold up
right,
the
the bottle.
piece of the bottle that comes off? Because my mother just about lost it the other night when he...
The one across the
Oh,
backyard.
oh right. You've got one there. George is retrieving it. Okay, so it's not just the cork that comes off. Put it in front of the camera so that you can see. That's the bottle that comes off. That's crazy, right?
Quite a sword. Quite
He's got a big sword, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I gotta have him bring the big sword out every once in a while for the world to see.
Just a trail of broken hearts.
All right, so we're going to be drinking champagne in honor of all the people, all our friends, and our friends in the wine industry, our friends who live up there. You guys are survivors, and thank you for making great wine for us and surviving this. This too, we shall survive in this year.
It will pass.
Yes, it will.
No, I have plenty of beer. Thank you, Eric. It will not help my performance, I can tell you.
All right, we have to say to you, what an amazing time we're having. We just thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. It means so much to have you guys here every week. And Pedro Blanco was good enough to come back. He's been working on a bunch of stuff. And you went to Rick's, was it last week or the week before?
I went to where?
Ricky Braun.
Rick's. Yeah, I played at Rick's house. Rick's Cafe live. Yeah, we played there. And I've been working on a new album.
I heard a song.
On my own time, no pressure.
That's a beautiful thing, right?
Wake up in the morning, work on music.
Do you still have the same studio we worked at?
I've changed my studio's moved. It's a little bit away from where it used to be, not far.
Okay.
And
He's
I
got like a
remember-
man
it was-
cave that he goes to that's just studio and like he
nobody bothers me. Just work on music. That's all I do. I met Matthew because through you. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, I introduced you guys, yeah.
And I remember going across the road to the house that where you I didn't realize you recorded your first album there. And I met Matthew and we talked about music. And actually we wrote a song. We wrote a few songs together.
Yeah, you guys
In
wrote
fact,
a
I
few.
want to play one of those songs now that we wrote together.
I would like that.
And this song is called How Does It Feel? And there's a reason why I called it How Does It Feel? It's a musical reason. See if you can figure it out. It's not easy. Matthew finally figured it out, but well, I'll tell you later after we finish the song.
It's been so long. I love that song.
Okay, did you write that at Peter's house? Did you write that at your house?
I arrived one day because we started working. Actually, the first day that we got together, we never even worked on music. We just talked about music.
Oh my God,
we
that's so
took-
you guys.
We talked about 6 hours for
That
about,
was actually-
probably about obscure English bands from the 70s.
Probably a lot of Peter Gabriel stuff, a
Yeah.
lot of old Genesis stuff. I know
Yeah,
these.
that's all
these
we
guys.
talked about.
Marillion.
And then
yeah.
I came in the next day and Matthew says, I've got this idea for a song. And he goes, I said, okay, let's go with that. And
I
came
love
up,
that song.
I came up with the melody.
Yeah.
Now, notice how that melody starts. Now, does that remind you of another song? How does it feel to be one of the beautiful? And that just kept stuck in my mind. I said, well, I'm not copying the Beatles. It's only 4 notes after all. How does it feel? But I thought, wow, you can sing How Does It Feel perfectly to the melody. So that's how that came about.
See, that's so cool. I never knew that, and I was on that record with you guys.
Yes. Yeah.
We played a couple weeks ago. We played "Are You Mine," which
Are
was
You Mine, which is another song
Yeah.
that I recorded with Matthew
Yeah.
back then, yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I love
quite a
that song,
history.
too. Well, it's crazy. You know, I don't remember meeting Peter before we met at my house,
I don't think we did.
but I had been following you because I was new to the jazz genre because Mindi. That was my first soiree, and
It was a soiree too.
I knew about you and Al Stewart, so I was really kind of coming at it more from a fan perspective than like I know what I'm going to do with that guy, and so I really wanted to absorb as much as everything you knew as possible before we laid a note down, you know.
That's right. We talked. Yeah, we just chatted for hours about music. It was like so
Yeah.
nice to have someone to talk music about. I mean, especially probably most British music from the 60s and the
Yeah.
70s, which is my forte. And then I remember that same day, I walked across the road to this house right here.
Yep.
I met Mindi Abair, and I said to Mindy, do you want to do a Christmas tour with me? And she said, sure. And that's how we planned the Christmas tour. It was all the same day,
That's
in 2003.
And you guys,
that was a good day.
You guys are you've done quite a bit of Christmas tours since then, right? Quite a few.
12 years worth.
We did many, many, many Christmas tours
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's been to a Christmas tour, right? Who's been to a Christmas tour? I know so many of you guys have been to our Christmas tour over the
Yes.
years.
And we even had one planned for this year, and we're still not sure if it's going to happen or not because there's so many venues that I had to close down, and or reduce the capacity to 25% or something. So
Yeah.
we're still working on it, but it's still not completely sure that we're actually going to do this Christmas tour this year.
It's
Which
one
is
of
a
my
shame.
favorite things to do is go on tour with you at Christmas. It's just there's something magical that you don't have to. I don't know. You don't have to think about it. Like it's just Christmas music. It's sing-songy. It's
Can't
so
wait
fun.
for
Christmas.
Oh,
No, I can't wait for Christmas.
That's another one of ours.
So, by the way, we wrote that song across the street in his on his porch, and Bud Harner played drums on it.
who's your manager now?
Who's my manager? Who
He
was-
played drums at my house, at my
Who's-
little
Yeah.
place.
You recorded the drums at your house?
I everything but the kick drum. Like I just had him play the whole set, and the kick drum. I wanted the kick drum to be electronic. That's how I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, I played the saxophone in the bathroom. I stood up on the
It was
toilet.
a really
and
big budget
put-
record.
yeah, and I put pillows up on the walls so that it didn't sound like a bathroom. And then, I came down from standing on the toilet and and recorded the sax, but I wanted it to
That's
sound,
how most great records start. It's coming down from the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was high class.
Literature too.
Yeah. But it was probably our biggest song. I mean, I think it was bigger than
sure.
Lucy's.
sure.
It was bigger than anything. And a lot of people would come in and say, "Oh, you're the girl from the Christmas song." And, I thought that was so cool because just knew me from Christmas, and so it was cool. It made a lot of people pay attention to the music that we were making that wasn't Christmas music. So you helped with that because you were like, you want to go on tour, and it made it expand. It was cool.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't really know you that well. Did I know you? No.
I mean, we had met, but we didn't.
No.
We didn't know each other well. That was the start of a beautiful friendship.
Right, 2003. That was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. I had Matthew make a request, and so, sometimes you all have to make requests. I have a request for champagne because I saw this bottle of champagne get sabered, and no one's brought me. No,
Yeah.
What's going on, Cork Dork?
And I've run out of beer at this point.
Oh
so
my
I'm-
God!
It's like
this
we
is
aren't even on
so-
the porch anymore.
I
know.
mean, what's going on? Did you run out of champagne? I mean, you're still drinking, right? I mean, what?
Don't beat me. Please don't beat me.
That happens with the big sword sometimes. I wanted to say, I wanted to, first of all, just say how amazing it is to hear Peter White play guitar again. It's been a long time since I've heard you. And I wanted to share this story when I found out we were doing this together, that it was really interesting working with you in the studio and writing the songs, making demos, and then going into the studio. Peter has this sort of endless loop of creativity, and he's very fluid. His imagination comes out right away. So the first time he did a solo to, I think it was this song. How does it feel? If not, it was Ghost Story.
It probably was this song.
Yeah. It was so fluid, off the cuff, beautiful, melodic, and it just went to these places you would just not expect, but it was perfect. So by the time we went into a real studio to cut it with live musicians, we were all set up with the better microphone and the whole thing, and he was ready to, take a new solo. And even though what you played was amazing, it just, there was something about what you play intuitively right off the cuff, and then I made you go back to the demo and learn it note for note and replay it.
Play what you played the first time. Yeah. There's something to be said for that, and I've learned now to always record the very first time you play a song, because there's some inspiration there that you lose after you play it a few times.
You start thinking.
And you start thinking, which is death for musicians.
Don't think.
By the way.
Don't think.
Just play. Don't think.
Well, and your pop rock background, I think, is such an influence to the way you approach solos, even though you're certainly well versed in the jazz idiom. But
Well, the solo should be something, I think, that
can be sung almost.
it just should
right?
stand by itself. It's a musical piece by itself. It should
Yeah.
stand on its own, and spend a lot of time. The very first guitar solo I ever recorded, it was with Al Stewart in Abbey Road Studios.
Oh wow!
Stop
Can you imagine that?
Come on.
I'm going in the recording
No
studio
pressure.
at the
Yeah, no
at the age of 20 for the first time in this Abbey Road Studios, the same studio where the Beatles recorded all their music, and Al Stewart said, "You should play a Spanish guitar." And I said, "Okay, I don't have a Spanish guitar." He says, "Well, I have one. You can borrow mine." So that's how I started on Spanish guitar.
Pedro
Really?
Blanco
Well, it's also called
lives.
nylon. Yes. It's also called Spanish. It's called
Flamenco.
nylon string guitar. It's also
Nylon.
called classical guitar. It's pretty much the
Yeah.
same. But that's how I started with Al Stewart. If I
Was that a tough day, or was it an easy day?
because I knew how to play. I just didn't know when to play.
Yeah.
See, this is something that Alan Parsons taught me. I didn't mention that Alan Parsons was the producer
Stop it. Come on.
on that same record where I walked into Abbey Road Studios. There's Alan Parsons, who wasn't yet the Alan Parsons Project from the.
But he was an established producer at that point.
He was an established producer.
Yeah.
And I remember I was playing
filling up every space.
every note I'd ever
Yeah.
learnt, every riff. It was great. I said, this is fantastic. I've arrived. And then we got to the end of the song, and there was dead silence from the control room. And I couldn't see, because the control room is up there, and we're down here in a kind of basement. And finally, Alan comes on and he says, touches the intercom. He says, let's try that again. But this time, don't play when the song starts. Don't play when he starts singing. Wait till he finishes singing, then play.
Sometimes where
Excellent
you
advice.
don't play
Well,
is more
and
powerful than where you play.
This is something you don't get. This is not taught. When somebody's teaching you to play an instrument, they don't say to you, actually, it's better if you don't play sometimes. Nobody teaches you that. But that you learn that later, or not.
Some people don't learn it.
I learned because, and by the way, when Alan said this to me, I disagreed with him. I said, I've got these great licks. We call them guitar licks or guitar riffs. The world needs to hear them. At the age of 20, of course, that's how we felt. And when I listen to the song now, the song is called On the Border. Al Stewart from the Year of the Cat album, and he was absolutely right. My guitar doesn't come in until way like a minute 20 seconds into the song, and it has much more impact because I didn't play before then. So he was right, and it was the greatest lesson I ever learned as a musician to this day.
Amazing.
You better be taking notes
Alan
out there. I
Parsons.
know you've been drinking, but this stuff doesn't happen all the time. We're just on the porch talking, but this is wisdom. I'm just saying, it's wisdom.
Let's play a song.
Okay, let's play a song. Matthew, you get this one. I mean, I had my request. He had his request. You guys played the song you wrote together. We've played a million songs that we wrote together.
Well, when you called me and asked me if I wanted to play anything specifically, I've been really into Simply Red lately, and I've been listening to a lot of their old stuff. And
Another
You
British,
produced them,
good
right?
British band.
I did produce them too, but that's not why I was listening.
Was
to
it
them.
early 2000s? Was it?
It was all around the same time. I basically worked
Oh.
1 year, and that was it.
All right. We're basically not working for a year, so this
Yeah,
is
that's
kind of the
true.
same thing, just the inverse.
No, I was honestly. I think my head's been where everyone's is. It's like no matter what your situation right now, everyone seems to be experiencing this like existential dread, and whether it's the election or the COVID or the fires. I mean, I was evacuated for 2 weeks. This has been a really rough year on everybody.
Yeah.
And no matter where you fall, I've noticed that everyone's a little scared, at uneasy. That's it, uneasy. So I've just been kind of meditating on holding back the years, and swear to God, about a week ago, I thought, God, if Mindy and I ever play together again, I'd love to do Holding Back the Years. And the phone rang like a day later. And you were like, what do you want to play? I was like, I don't know, Lucy's. You're like, okay, great. And then I texted you like an hour
Yeah.
later, and I was like, but I've been thinking about it. I was thinking for sure you'd say no. And you were like, sure, let's do it. It was great. So
I think music is healing, and I think this has brought me through all of these months, and it's brought Eric through all these months. It's brought Peter through all of these months, and just the joy of playing together and the joy of sharing it with you. I don't know. It's healing. It's amazing. Everything can be going wrong. Your air conditioning can break. Your wine can spill. Your your life can be falling apart. But music comes on. It all goes away. So join the wine and music party. We want you to vote for whoever you want to vote for. We want you to follow and love and drink with us for the wine and music party. holding back the years, thinking of the fear I've had so long. When somebody hears, listen to the fear that's gone. Strangled by the wishes of Peter, hoping for the arms of nature. Get to me sooner or later. And I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. Yeah. Holding back the year, chance for me to escape from all I know. Holding back the tears, nothing here has grown. No, I've wasted all my tears, I've wasted all those years. Nothing had the chance to be good. No, nothing ever could, yeah. Oh, I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I've wasted all my tears. Oh, I've wasted all those years. Nothing had the chance to be good. No, nothing ever could. Yeah. Oh, and I keep holding on. And I keep holding on. Holding on, I keep holding on. Yeah.
Have you sung that song before?
No. Literally,
sounds
Matthew
great.
and I used to listen to it in college. We thought he was so cool. I thought he had cool hair, and I just thought it was, I thought he was such a great singer. But no, I've never sung it. Matthew just came up with it a couple days ago.
Sounds great.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, and your soprano sounds so beautiful.
You know what? Thank you for saying that. That means a lot coming from you, because I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but when we were in college, we went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and Matthew had a progressive rock band. And maybe you don't know what progressive rock is, but
Until you've heard Matthew Hager.
he had a prog rock band. And you can look back to early Genesis. You can look back to bands like Marillion or, was it Gentle Giant?
Yeah, Pierre
Now it all makes sense to me why we had so much in common when we first met, because I'm a massive, huge English
Dun, 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 dun,
prog
dun,
rock.
dun.
It's all becoming
Fan.
real,
Yeah,
right? So,
yes.
in Matthew's band in college, I played keyboards and I sang kind of Kate Bush-ish,
Oh, yeah.
you know, kind of background vocals or lead vocals, but it was very, you know, kind of wispy, white girl vocals, we would say, in the business. And I played soprano, and it was all very touchy-feely, from the heart stuff, and it was prog rock, though. I mean, we were in a jazz school. What the hell were we doing? But it was cool that we were listening to all this different music. Yeah, yes, I was in a school that I was learning John Coltrane songs and Cannonball Adderley, but in my off time, I was going to work at a leather clothing store and listening to Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses and
Tannery
playing in a
West.
prog rock band with Matthew Hager.
Yeah. 100% true.
So you made me play more soprano because I had just bought a soprano before I went to Berklee, and it was this new instrument, and I didn't quite know what to do with it. I just knew I loved Wayne Shorter. So you
Well,
helped
I
me
was-
develop it.
I was just going to say, you were the one who put Wayne Shorter in front of me. So
right.
that I started listening to and for the soprano at that moment. And
Because
you,
Wayne Shorter
yeah,
is primarily a soprano saxophone player.
absolutely. And so
Right.
Well,
that
back in the day, he was tenor with Miles Davis and all that. I mean, we're getting a little history lesson, but
oh, with Joni he was soprano,
with
right?
Joni Mitchell, he was
Yeah.
soprano, and then in The End of the Innocents with Don Henley, that's
Oh.
Wayne Shorter on soprano
And this is
saxophone.
the soprano that you're holding in your hand.
Yes,
Just
it
to let
is.
people
Oh,
know.
is that the Yamaha?
That's the soprano
Woo!
saxophone. Right.
Um,
The little saxophone.
well, that's Mindy and I have known each other for so long, and it wasn't ever in the plans to work on a jazz record with you. It was, we were never going to do that kind of stuff together. So I learned to listen to Mindy as a fan. I mean, kind of similar to what I was talking about you. I learned to listen to you. So by the time we got to like recording music professionally together, we both kind of had that like, stop doing that. You always do that. You're better than that.
Right,
Stop it.
be better. Don't play your normal stuff.
Yeah,
be
so-
cool. Work for it more.
Most people who I've worked with since then find me abrasive because of that quality. But for you
I
and
don't.
I, it was just push. Oh, you always, Mindy is, not only is this amazing for any artist, but back then for a woman, this was so really transcendental. She was like, I want you to push me. Every musician she worked with, she was like, don't play it safe, push me, be better than me. Like everyone on the stage should be better than I am. And her whole goal was to be pushed, and that's never changed. And there are a lot of people who don't have the humility for that, but she's always like, bring it.
Bring it, man. Let's make some music. Let's have fun. All right, so Peter and I always talk. We love the Beatles. I ended up
Got to play some beats.
touring with Aerosmith, who covered the Beatles. And this particular song, I would say Aerosmith did a pretty darn good job covering the Beatles. But we are going to do our own version of Come Together, because we think we should all come together and unite. That's what we're here to do through music. So... Woo! together. I wanna hear you. Come together.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mindi Abair, Peter White.
Give it up for Matthew Hager, my partner in crime for many years that you guys don't get to see a lot. Give it up for Peter White. Pedro Blanco!
Oh.
And Ellis Hall is coming on the 13th of October, so come back on the 13th of October. And this Friday, we have a listening party. So we hope that you guys come back. We have a listening party for my brand new single. We've got a video for Forever. We've got this wine that we're going to be drinking. So we want you to drink with us. And we want you to listen and watch with us. And we're going to have some cool stories about the making of the song and the record. So thank you for coming to hang with us. And it meant so much to us. So if you feel like supporting, you like what you're hearing, go to paypal.com/Mindi Abair. It goes to all of us. And we just love you so much. Thank you for an amazing night. We love you.